Welcome back to Tiny Bunny. We are on episode 4, Stomp Your Hooves and Wait. Byasha joined us at the table, gnawing anxiously on his lower lip.
Тосик, ты почти в этом сраном лесу живешь.
Toshik, you're almost living in that fucking forest.
Вчера ничего странного не видел на.
Have you seen anything strange yesterday, eh? I replied with a complete lie.
Нет.
Я тоже.
Me either.
Повезло, что классуха моим родакам нажаловалась из-за оценок.
I got lucky that the homeroom teacher complained to my folks about my grades.
Вот меня и не выпустили вечером на
So
репетицию.
they didn't let me out for our rehearsal.
А то на месте Катьки оказались бы мы.
If they did, we'd be in Katya's shoes right now. Byasha scratched out his Adam's apple.
Я что
So,
сказать хотел.
here's the thing, eh?
Я кое-что слышал.
I heard something.
Этим утром я, как обычно, в школу шел. Вдруг слышу плач за деревьями. Девчачий. Сечетина.
I was going to school this morning, as usual, and then I heard a shrill cry coming from behind the trees. A girl's voice. See what I mean, eh?
Ну, я про Катьку-то не знал тогда. Да и знал бы, стрёмно оно, братки.
I didn't know about Katya then. Even if I did, it would have still been scary, guys.
Утро у нас не лучше ночи. Темно, как в зопе.
Mornings here are as bad as nights. It's so dark you can't see a thing.
Вдруг это Катька была, а?
But what if it was Katya?
А главное, вместе таком паршивом в буреломе, что неподалеку от кладбища.
And it was in the worst possible place, eh? Among the windfall, near the cemetery.
Хорош пургу гнать.
Bullshit.
Да зуб даю на! Сам слышал!
I swear, eh? I heard it with my own ears.
А вы уверены, что Катя действительно пропала?
Are you sure Katya really went missing?
Вон, Лилия Павловна, Катькина матушка, даже на работу не пришла.
Look, even her mom, Lilia Pavlovna, didn't show up for work today.
Слетела контрольная на!
The test is off, eh?
Как пить дать, пацаны, это Катька в тайге стонала!
I'm telling you guys it was Katya, moaning in the taiga.
А значит, и до неё маньячела добрался!
The serial killer got her too. I remembered Katya. She was both beautiful and mean. The first girl in our class with a maturing body, to the envy of all the other girls. The main source of gossip, a snake and a bitch. Byasha started counting with his fingers.
Сенечка, Вова, Семён, Катя. 4 человека, на!
4 people, eh? Roma slammed his hands on the desk.
Так, пацаны, отныне смотреть в оба.
All right, guys, from now on, we always keep our guard up.
Далеко друг от друга не отходим, как в дурацких ужастиках.
Don't split off from the group like in those stupid horror movies.
На остальных мне плевать, но вас я в обиду не дам.
I don't care about the rest, but you two are under my protection.
Как и Полинку.
And Polina, too. And Polina, too. I hope your relationship works out. I had already forgotten that I was ever into Polina. Had you? The only girl occupying my thoughts after last night was Alyssa. Dun dun dun, which is what we wanted, so that's good. The boys went to the cafeteria, and I was left alone, scribbling in my notebook, drawing rows of pines and 2 small figures, flying between the treetops and the full moon. Shivers ran up to my shoulders, sneaking playfully under the hem of my shirt. Even though soaring through the sky felt so simple, there was still something evil weighing me down. Was it the stolen signet ring, or the heavy look those missing kids from the notice board were giving me? The culprit was definitely still in the village. They were hiding something horrible under a mask of piousness.
Рисуешь?
What are you drawing? Embarrassed, I covered the notebook, as if there was something shameful about the figures above the forest.
Да ничего, так, дурака валяю.
Nothing really, just fooling around. Polina put her elbows on the desk. I had already forgotten how light and graceful she was, just like a violin. I wish she could also jump around with us after stripping away her mask of fake mundanity. I smiled, imagining Polina's skirt flopping in the wind, the stars sparkling all around us, her asking in bewilderment whether it's all a dream, and myself telling her that it doesn't matter. Polina's expression grew dark again.
Уже слышал про Катю?
Have you heard about Katya?
Ужасно.
It's a tragedy.
Да.
Yeah.
Ужасно еще и то, что Катю мне жалеть сложно.
It's also tragic that I find it difficult to empathize with her.
Я правда ищу в себе сострадание, но вспоминаю ее поступки и...
I try so hard, but then I remembered all her nasty deeds and... Polina shook her head.
Я чудовище, да?
I'm a monster, aren't I? No, I thought, you're one of the most beautiful girls I've ever met. But alas, you're only number 2 on that list. This is cracking me up. I cannot. He's like, number 1 on my list is a fox. He's a little furry. I decided not to say that out loud.
Плохо, наверное, что исчезновение анкеты расстроило меня больше, чем пропажа одноклассницы.
It's not okay that I felt worse when I lost my questionnaire than when she went missing. My nostrils picked up the smell of candy, pre-risen, and fireworks.
Ты потеряла анкету?
You lost your questionnaire?
Да, и кто-то сейчас читает чужие секреты.
Yes, someone is out there reading other people's secrets now. Yes, the forest, I thought, imagining the crooked branches turning notebook pages, touching the childish handwriting with icy twigs.
Надеюсь, ее найдут.
I hope the search goes well. I was unsure whether she spoke about Katya or her notebook. I wanted to ask her about it, but then I noticed Polina's intense stare directed at me.
Что?
What?
Ты будто изменился.
You've changed. I smoothed my flat hair, surprised.
Просто не выспался.
I just didn't sleep well tonight.
Сегодня ты точно какая-то другая мелодия. Очень древняя, таинственная.
You're a different melody today. Some mysterious, ancient tune. I thought about the flute's melody streaming between the bushy treetops.
Надеюсь, ты никому не рассказал про наш вчерашний разговор?
I hope you haven't told anyone of our chat yesterday.
Что ты?
Of course not. She nodded, as if acknowledging that she can fully trust me. I was unsure whether I merited such trust.
А может, погуляем после уроков?
Want to go for a walk after school?
Дедушка чувствует себя лучше. Я могу задержаться вечером.
Grandpa has been feeling better recently. I can return home a bit later. Her hair cascaded down around her shoulders. The smell was so wonderful that it sent me flying toward the glowing stars of my inner cosmos without any magic.
Почему бы и нет? Давай.
Oh, well, why not? Deal.
Тогда после алгебры на заднем дворе.
Then I'll see you at the backyard after algebra. She leaned forward and looked at me with her piercing eyes again. I'm surprised that he said yes, because I'm pretty sure we voted to, stay with Romka's side, and I think it worked because he just said that he doesn't even care about Polina anymore. The only one he's thinking about is Alyssa. Why would he say yes? Then mumbled as if guessing.
Что-то из мусорского.
Something from Muzgoroski. Wait, what?
Нет, пожалуй.
No, probably not. Then she left, and Romka appeared in the doorway in her place. He plopped on the seat next to me and started whispering in my ear.
Ты с ней говорил?
Did you talk to her? I'm sorry. His laugh, I cannot. Byasha walked towards us, but Roma stopped him with an angry glare.
Бяш, отвали на пару минут.
Byasha, shove off for a bit. Aw, poor Byasha. Byasha curled his lips in frustration and disappeared from the classroom. Roma returned his attention to
Ну,
me.
говорил или нет?
Well, did you?
Она что-то сказала про меня?
Did she say anything about me? I could barely stop myself from flashing a sad, desperate smile. Romka, the leader of Team Voltron, was in love, madly in love. His gaze boiled with hope, pleas, worries. He looked like a pure, naive boy that shielded himself from the world with sports, delinquency, and coldness. Could I really betray him in this moment of weakness? Could I make the right choice in a situation where nothing is right? I fake coughed before speaking.
Она спрашивала, где ты будешь после уроков.
She asked where you will be after school. No, she didn't. Why would we lie? His face the next moment was worth the effort of telling this lie. Romka was beaming with happiness.
А ты что?
And what did you say?
Сказал, что ты будешь на заднем дворе.
I told her you'll be in the backyard. Romka licked his lips in excitement. He grabbed my wrist so hard I thought it would break. Now I see what he's doing. So this is probably when they're going to execute their plan.
Ну, Тоха! Ну, спасибо, друг!
Thank you, Toha. You're a real friend.
Погнали скорее готовиться!
Let's go prepare already.
Ща мы закатим такую шоу-программу, что прям ого-го!
It's gonna be a show she won't be able to forget. He left the classroom to join the grouchy Byasha, and I was left alone to stare blankly at Polina's empty seat. I just traded one friendship for another. Let's just hope I made the right choice. The bell's echo wandered aimlessly in school's darkest corners. I'm so excited to see how it's like the play is gonna play out. I'm so excited. I flew into the yard with my coat still half zipped. The weather forecast didn't lie about the coming blizzard. A leaden cloud was coming at us from the north. A mighty roar bubbled inside it. The other kids stood with their back to the wind and laughed when the gusts pushed them around the skating rink. The blizzard carried that laughter into the violet unknown. Romka rushed my way as soon as he noticed me in the tiny school background that was usually empty.
Готов? Точно не сдрейфишь?
You ready? Sure you won't chicken out?
Второго шанса не будет.
There won't be another chance. Let me save, in case, like, I'm actually supposed to act something out, because, I'm not trying to mess it up. I wasn't ready at all. My stomach stung. They wanted me to get out of here, to bail out from the stupid idea that was destined to fail from the very beginning. But I couldn't abandon Romka halfway through purely on principle. He, in the meantime, was hurriedly counting our inventory with his ink-stained fingers.
Букет есть.
I've got the bouquet.
Маньяк присутствует.
The creep is also here.
Что там еще?
Do we need anything else?
А что с моим образом?
What about my costume?
Где мой топор или там
Where's my axe? Or, I don't know,
маска?
my mask.
Да не гони, Тоха!
An axe? Okay, you can't just like play pretend with an axe. Is he serious? Oh my gosh. Oh, come on, Toha.
Надень ту зайчью, что с собой по жизни таскаешь.
Just put on that bunny mask you always carry around.
Только резче! Нельзя, чтобы Полина нас видела вместе.
Hurry up, we can't let Polina see us together. I looked at Romka with distrust, but my fingers already found the slider on the backpack zipper and tugged at it in anticipation. Instead of getting surprised, I felt relief when I took out my real face. Real face. Okay, we're loony. With it came calmness. The pain in my stomach subsided. I instantly remembered the feeling of flight, weightlessness, and joy. Romka's problem seemed so yawn-inducing and insignificant now.
Давай, как репетировали.
Let's do it, like we practiced.
Только она появится.
As soon as she appears,
Я пригрожу
I'll
ей
stand in
дорогу.
her way. Oh, I'll stand in her way.
Ага.
Yeah,
А я из-за
and
тех
I'll show
кустов
up to
такой
save her
бац,
from these
и
bushes.
на выручку.
Bam!
Только веди себя посмелей, Тошик.
And you be bolder, Toshik,
Чтоб как взаправду.
like it's for real.
Я постараюсь себя не
I'll try
сдержать.
my best. This simple piece of cardboard and fur carried enough energy to compete with the blizzard's fury. I put my real face on top of my glasses, gleeful. I fixed it so my eyes would look right through the slits. Romka disappeared. And instead, Polina walked out from around the corner looking around wearily. She had her trusty violin case with her. Fresh snow squeaked under her boots. Ah, poor Polina. Clouds devoured the sun, and the coming darkness turned me into a long-eared silhouette. After looking at me with suspicion, Polina started circling around the yard. She didn't recognize me. I stepped in front of Polina. I cannot. Look how ridiculous he looks. Like, it looks like his mask has like a tongue sticking out of it. Like, it actually looks ridiculous. I stepped in front of Polina, not at all worried that my height or my clothes could give away my identity.
Ты случаем не потерялась,
Are you lost, girlie? She frowned and stepped back toward the bushes.
Черт!
Romka immediately appeared out of them, swearing. He moved sideways in an awkward manner like a crab, while still hiding his hand that was holding the flowers behind his back.
Эй! Садист, проклятый!
Hey, you, goddamn sadist!
Пока я здесь,
Nobody will harm this
Никто
girl while I'm here.
не обидит, понял?
Got it,
Ты.
you? I couldn't help but cringe and rolled my eyes under the mask. Romka's voice sounded fake and totally idiotic. He was way more believable during our rehearsal. I paid it no mind and brazenly grabbed Polina by the collar, pulling her closer. My fingers ran across her silky bangs. Polina let out an angry shriek. That only made me smirk. It made him smile to hurt her? I was overflowing with permissiveness and impunity. I intended to push Polina to the ground and grope her so hard I'd leave bruises. Until the babbling Romka acquires proper acting skills.
Говорю, не тронь!
Stay away, you hear me? I didn't listen and just kept on going, drunk on my power, on Romka's confusion that stopped him from doing anything but mumbling silently to himself. And I could do anything under the guise of the bunny.
Прояви терпение, Рохля.
Wait for your turn, loser.
Сейчас закончу с девчонкой и обязательно возьмусь за тебя.
I'll get to you when I finish with the girl. Romka's eyes widened in surprise. I could tell he tried to keep his cool and stay true to his role for a moment. But before this amateur superhero could do anything, Polina intervened.
Так, что тут происходит?
All right, what's going on?
Пятифан, ты уберешь своего дружка?
Romka, would you get your buddy off me?
А,
Polina is fantastic. Love her. Polina swung her case and hit me so hard I immediately sobered up.
я же... Он мне...
He's not.
Думаете, я вчера на свет появилась?
Do you think I was born yesterday?
Бяша, небось.
Is it Byasha or... She looked at me as if her eyes could pierce through the cardboard mask. Even under the dim light around us, I could see her indignant face redden.
Антон?
Oh,
Вот не думала, что ты такой.
I thought you were better than this. I started mumbling, looking for an excuse, and Wayne hopes that Romka would be the first to explain everything. But that failure of an actor just stared at a snow pile, his face red as a beet from embarrassment. Planning such a big show and screwing up even bigger. Polina watched us with her fist clutched before she suddenly shouted,
Клоуны!
"Clowns!" Her loud verdict still ricocheted off the school walls, like a trapped dove, when Polina broke into a run on the snow-covered asphalt. Her shadow waved like the hem of a dress and disappeared around the corner. Romka hanged his head in shame. A battered bouquet plopped down in the gray muddle of wet snow.
Это фиаско, братан.
We screwed up big time, bro. I took off the mask from my sweaty face. The wind cooled my skin. I actually feel bad for Romka. It felt like along with the mask I took off, a layer of intrusive thoughts and emotions. Romka screeched with his teeth and stared down at his feet. Lost and depressed, he couldn't counter fate's punches, unlike me. I knew how terrible he felt. He was ready to crush everything around him or bang his head against the concrete. He was ready to do anything but ask Polina to come back. He was strong and brave, but his fear of showing any weakness impeded him greatly. A possible resolution flashed in my mind. I placed my hand on Romka's shoulder.
Жди.
Wait here. Are we gonna talk to her? Are we gonna be little matchmakers? Oh my gosh, we are. I sprinted across the schoolyard, trying to catch up to Polina. An echo followed my footsteps. The girl's violin case swayed like a tail of an annoyed cat.
Полин!
She slowed down but didn't turn
Ну,
around.
Полин!
Polina, please. I could finally see her pretty profile.
Чего?
What? I caught up to her and carefully grabbed her by the elbow. She didn't yank it away. It was a good sign.
Ты все неправильно поняла.
It was all just a big misunderstanding. Polina brushed a lock of her hair off her face. I thought she probably stole that move from one of the Sharon Stone movies. Her voice was still strict.
Что тут понимать-то?
What's there to misunderstand?
Ромка спланировал геройский поступок. В кавычках, конечно.
Romka planned some heroic deed, well, in his own mind.
А ты вызвался быть шутом, от которого он меня
And
защитит.
you offered to be the clown he would protect me from.
Еще и маску где-то нашел. Гадкую такую.
He even managed to find a mask this ugly somewhere. I wanted to shout, it's not ugly at all, but said something completely different instead.
А вот и не поняла.
And that's where you're wrong.
Ты Ромке очень нравишься.
Romka really likes you. Curiosity flashed in her eyes. I wanted to hug Polina, steal her, and lead her into the forest. I wanted to introduce her to my new friends. I wanted the flute to sing. Polina would have surely liked its melody. I wanted us to jump high in the sky above the clouds. There, under the stars that are pinned to the night sky, I would tell Polina how much I needed her. That she's like water and I'm dying from thirst.
Я думала, я тебе нравлюсь.
I thought you also liked me. I played dumb.
Мне?
Polina fought out of my clutches, annoyed.
Все ясно.
I get it now.
Да постой же, нравишься.
Wait, I do like
Ты
you.
всем нравишься.
Everybody does.
Но Ромка, он особенный.
But Romka is a special case.
Особенный лжец.
The special case of a liar.
Он целеустремленный и на самом деле серьезнее, чем кажется.
He's determined, and he's actually way more serious than he looks.
Помнишь, ты говорила о побеге? С ним бы ты точно сбежала.
Remember how you told me about wanting to escape? You'd definitely be able to do that with him.
В какой-нибудь большой сверкающий город.
He'd take you to some big, shiny city.
Да куда угодно.
He'd take you wherever you want.
Он обещал защищать тебя.
He swore to protect you. Polina stared into the darkness outside the school's boundaries. There was only the wind and the swirling
И что
snow.
теперь прикажешь?
And what do you want me to do?
От его обещаний детей рожать?
Bear children from his oath?
Для начала узнать поближе.
Give him a
Дать ему
chance.
шанс.
Get to know him better.
Шутки шутками, а настоящий маньяк еще на свободе.
Jokes aside, the real serial killer is still on the loose.
Позволь Ромке проводить тебя
Let Romka
сегодня.
escort you home today. I forced myself to speak, but my lips went numb and my face turned to stone. I was afraid that my voice would give away my true feelings. Words were like razors that cut my chest and my windpipe before scattering out of my mouth. Polina stayed silent for what felt like an eternity and beyond. She snored angrily and tapped her fingers on the black violin case. Finally, she sighed and spoke.
Передай своему Ромке, что я жду у школьных ворот.
Tell your Romka that I'll be waiting near the school gates,
Но чтоб не думал себе всякое.
but don't let him get the wrong idea. I feigned happiness. I could fake emotions if need be.
Ты не пожалеешь.
You won't regret it. I slowly shuffled my way around the corner, my eyes shut tight and my heart beating like a hammer that drove nails deep into my soul. Romka sat in a squatting position, ruffling his short hair.
Она ждет тебя у ворот.
She's waiting for you at the gate. I was rewarded with the amazed look on my buddy's face. He sprang up, choking on words. Total opposite of the shut-off silent leader that I met just last week.
Тош, ты спас меня!
Tosha, you're my savior.
Братан, да я теперь твой должник на века!
Bro, I'm in your debt forever.
Хочешь, я тебе тетрис подгоню? А хочешь, научу рукопашным приемам?
Do you want me to fetch you a Tetris console? Or maybe teach you how to fist fight?
Или...
Or... I had only one dream. To be left alone. So I could watch the forest sway in the wind in complete silence. So I could breathe in the frosty smell through the old
Иди
mask.
уже.
Go already. I hope that when it comes to Alyssa, I won't need to choose between friendship and my feeling. I have no one left apart from her. Well, maybe also Olya. But of course, she was my only ray of light in this patch black taiga. How could I forget my little sister?
Я знаю, чего я хочу.
I know what I want. Romka, who already started walking, stopped and looked
Я
at me.
хочу оказаться вместе с сестрой в Диснейленде.
I want to go to Disneyland with my sister. My buddy smirked and pulled his hat to the back of his head.
И что ты предлагаешь?
And what do you suggest?
Сберкассу обнести?
We rob a bank or something?
Нет, надо просто поймать маньяка.
No, we just need to catch that serial
Того, кто в
killer.
ответе за все эти похищения.
The one that's responsible for all the
И
kidnappings.
получить обещанную награду в
Then
милиции.
we'll get that reward from the police. Romka winced and hid his hands in the pockets of his pants.
Думаешь, тебе этот лейтенант что-то за сотрудничество отстегнет?
You really think that lieutenant will pay you for helping out?
Подарит максимум часы командирские и будь здоров.
The best you'll get is probably an officer's watch or something. I got tired of arguing with Romka.
Ты поможешь мне? Да
Will
или
you
нет?
help me? Yes or no?
Я сказал уже, мы команда.
I've already told you. We're a team.
Куда ты, туда и я.
We move together.
Хорошо.
Good.
Теперь понять бы, с чего начинать.
If only we knew where to start.
Слушай,
Wait up.
Бяша говорил, что слышал плач в буреломе за кладбищем.
Byasha said he heard someone crying in the windfall behind the cemetery.
Готов поспорить, это была Катька.
I bet it was Katya. I tensed up like a guitar string. Katya was a step toward Simon, and he was a step toward Vova. We'll help the police arrest that accursed killer, and our village would stop living in fear. And then adults would lift the restrictions that prohibit Olya from going outside. And I'd finally be able to teach her how to jump to the sky with her new friend.
Как тогда будем действовать?
What's the plan then?
Так сразу не скажу, да и время поджимает.
I can't say for now, I'm short on time here.
Давай пересечемся у дома Полины через час.
Let's meet near Polina's house in an hour.
Нет, лучше через 1,5.
No, in an hour and a half.
Знаешь, где она живет?
You know where she lives, right? I remembered the house number I sneakily looked up in Polina's
Думаю,
questionnaire.
найду.
I'll find my way there.
Отлично, мне пора.
Great. Well, I'll be going. And Romka sped off, leaving me alone to try and calm down my galloping heart. Well, we successfully matched make Romka and Polina. Question is, was it the right decision? Maybe now, when I have Romka's support, this nightmare will finally end. Byasha, who was chewing on some sunflower seeds, grimaced as soon as I approached.
Смотрите-ка! Фу, явился, не запылился на.
Look who finally came, eh?
Бросили меня тут на.
You abandoned me and left with your bestie.
Еще на команда Вольтрона называется.
And he called us the Voltron team, eh? Byasha gave me a morose look and turned away. For a minute, I pondered whether Byasha could help us search for Katya. But what if Romka's crony will only ruin everything? I can't. Okay, so because we've played this before, we know that Byasha dies. If I invite him to come with me, maybe he'll live.
Ну, Бяш, не обижайся.
Come on, Byasha, don't be mad.
Ромка голову совсем потерял. Ты уж не злись на него сильно.
Romka just lost his head for a bit, but don't be too tough on
Про
him.
тебя я помню. Вот, держи от меня подарок.
I never forgot about you. Here, I have a gift. I handed my improved sketch of Voltron, a giant transformer robot made out of 5 smaller lion robots. I feel like it'd be lion. What's a lion robot? Leon robots to Byasha.
Ничего себе! Это мне на!
Sick. This is for me, eh?
Спасибо, Антоха! Уважил!
He's literally like, obviously he's a kid, but I feel like maturity-wise, he acts so much younger than he really is, and it's so funny. Thanks, Toha. Much appreciated.
Ты чего уж там?
Don't mention it.
Через 1,5 часа встречаемся у Полининого дома.
See you in an hour and a half near Polina's house.
Намечается срочное дело.
We have some urgent business. Byasha's face became pink from
Чем
happiness.
будем заниматься?
What are you two up to, eh? I showed him a sad smile while calculating our chances.
Постараемся не пропасть без вести.
Try not to go missing. 3 Musketeers. You took Byasha along. We got an achievement. We can't just, like, not go with him. And I'm hoping it'll save his life, but I could be wrong about that. Actually, hang on. In case I'm wrong about that, I'm going to save this. So not here. We're going to save it in another slot in case I want to backtrack and not invite him. After the longest 1.5 hours in my life, I felt like my brain was put into a blender and ground into gray mush. Anxious thoughts overlapped in my head. Katya who went missing, the forest, the serial killer, the crypts, the graves, the crosses. Byasha crawled out of the early twilight a block away from the place we agreed to meet
Чего
at.
унылый такой, на? Свежих анекдотов нет?
What's with the long face, eh? Out of fresh dad jokes? Right now I was happy to see even his ugly mug.
Вся банда в сборе.
Gather up, gang. Bringing up Romka's date was clearly unnecessary. I could tell it went wonderful by the wide grin on his face. Oh, I'm so glad. I wonder if she went crazy when he tried to leave. I wonder if she had her meltdown. Don't go! Please, get me out of here! Romka rammed me jokingly in the side.
Ну айда, джентльмены!
Let's move, gentlemen.
Этот счастливый, тот несчастный.
One is happy, the other is sad.
Фиг вас поймешь, на.
You guys are weird.
А ты лишний раз, Беш, не думай.
Don't think too much about it, Byasha.
А то, глядишь, последняя извилина узлом
Your last brain cell might
закрутится.
pop if you overexert it. At the same time, the village folk cooked dinners inside their homes, watched their TVs, fought over silly things. Grim-faced men smoked on their porches, well rollers creaked. The blizzard arched around the village. But it wasn't the blizzard that worried or scared me. The forest grew in front of our faces, and I wasn't sure if we entered it or if it just devoured us with its toothy maw. Pines creaked and log shadows stretched from the taiga. They bent their trunks on both sides of the road. None of us spoke a single word when we stepped into the windbreak. Pale fog streamed above the ravines, its tail swirled in a ghostly dance. The nauseous smell of church candle wax around us muddled my mind. The snow slurped, giving way under the soles of my shoes. Bumps all around us reminded me of funeral mounds, with twisted wilting trees acting as crosses. Darkness wailed and bubbled from underneath the frozen swamps. The wind howled in anger. Keeping track of time became meaningless. At some point we stopped before a pile of windfall.
Значит так,
All right,
поисковая операция начинается.
search mode activated.
Далеко не разбредаемся, ищем любые следы Кати или похитителя.
Don't go too far from each other. Look for any signs of Katya or her kidnapper.
И желательно, пацаны, поживее.
And be quick about it, guys.
Уже через час станет темно, хоть глаз выколи.
In just an hour, this place will be pitch dark. I wonder So since we're looking for her, I feel like a day early, because this is episode 4, not 5. What if we find her early to where she doesn't have to lose is it a toe? I think it was a toe she lost. Maybe she won't lose any body parts. We started carefully wading through fallen trees and way in hope of finding at least something.
Хрена лысого мы в таких потемках найдем-то.
We won't find shit in this dark, eh?
Давайте уже лучше по домам.
Let's go home.
Опачки. Чё тут у нас?
Hey, what do we have here?
А мне сегодня фартит.
Today's my lucky day.
Братва! Я, кажись, нашел!
Guys, I found something.
Это ж Каткин кошелек.
This is Katya's purse, and the one that found it was Byasha. I was so excited. And then I heard a stifled scream. I had no idea who produced it. Was it Byasha, Romka, or me? Then I finally saw it with my own eyes, but I still couldn't believe it. Byasha, his hair completely white, stumbled away in horror before eventually plopping into a snow pile. I looked at his outstretched hand that pointed at the void. His fingers shook like crazy. Byasha jumped up, as if something bit him and fled. Romka didn't even glance his way. He kept staring in front of himself, without blinking, without breathing. I didn't even notice how my legs started carrying me towards something indescribably horrific. With an indecisive motion, I pulled away the veil of fluffy evergreen. A small clearing that was once burnt out with a precise lightning strike showed itself from behind the spruces. The black garage. A circle of blackened tree stumps. And inside it, the black garage, its smooth walls painted black. It seems like they absorbed darkness itself. It felt like the garage wasn't just a metal box that could easily be moved from one place to another. It was alive. An insect with a black glossy carapace, a gluttonous carrion. We kept staring at it while it watched us carefully with its single red blinking eye. I tried to persuade myself that it was just a light bulb. The low hum produced by an electric generator sounded menacing.
Открыто.
It's unlocked. I tried swallowing. My mouth was dry as a desert. The garage's doors were open. Darkness swirled inside it. I felt someone's touch. Romka put his palm on my shoulder.
Пойдем.
Are we going? He looked far older than his real age. Actually, he looked like a decrepit old man.
Куда? Ты что, сбрендил?
Where? Are you insane?
Давай предупредим лейтенанта Тихонова.
Let's go warn Tikhonov. Romka spat at his feet.
Не будь ты таким наивным, Тоха.
Don't be silly, Toha.
Твой Тихонов вон даже варежку в лесу
Your
отыскать не смог.
Tikhonov couldn't even find a mitten in this forest.
Да и западло с ментом сотрудничать. Особенно, когда я у него на учете состою.
And help with the cops is for pussies. Especially now when I'm on their juvenile criminal list. The delinquent brandished his trademark knife and looked at me.
Маньяк наверняка вернулся туда, в свое логово.
The serial killer's probably returned to his
Если
lair.
получится, возьмем его
catch
тепленьким,
him off
пока
guard
он
and
не...
capture him.
Иначе в следующий раз
Or next time he'll be
подкараулит
the
уже
one
он.
ambushing us. The animal kid said he was just a man from the village. But can we beat him by ourselves?
Второго шанса может не быть, брат.
There may not be a second chance, bro.
Так что решайся.
Time to decide. Obviously, we're going to the garage. Hello, we're already here. We got closer to the building. The metal box was completely silent, apart from the generator's hum. Romka knocked on the gate with his knuckles, as if to make sure it's not going to turn into a predatory mob. With newfound confidence, he opened the gate wider and started feeling around the wall looking for the light
Тоха,
switch.
помоги-ка мне.
Toha, give me a hand too. It turned out to be an ordinary garage on the inside. Tool shelves on both sides, canisters, rags, and a covered car. No serial killers, no murder victims. I even chuckled in relief. Similar emotions could be read from my companion's face. Romka entered the garage and went clockwise around the car. He rummaged through the dusty shelves, then looked at me. I got brave enough to set one foot inside the garage. Darkness was plastered all over its corners like a spider web. But if there was even a spider here, it left its nest a long time ago. Okay, looks like we can interact with this. Severed limbs, mounds of ground meat, and heads plastered with meat flies. I'll see all of that inside this box. Just like in a nightmare, a scary version of the Field of Wonders where the host pulls out pus-oozing prizes out of a black box. In reality, the box was empty. Even if there was something inside, it was probably taken out at some point. Why does this look so much like an altar? As in, the garage is a church, and these here are the attributes of an inhuman Tega religion. I don't want to look at the icons of that beastly faith, ancient scriptures, and iron relics. No, it's just a pile of junk. Nobody is worshipped here. Shrines like these don't exist. And there's some wax on the tabletop because they often have blackouts and the owner works in candlelight. He wants to talk. Oh? What did I grip? What crunched under the pressure of its metal maws? What poured down on the workbench from the ripping flesh? Its cast iron parts crumbled from continued use. But it was just a normal metalwork vise. We had one just like this in our shop classroom. A vise for metal parts, not for victims. Drops of oil, not blood. Rusty tools. Wait, was I supposed to talk to him? I hope not. Rusty tools that look like steel fangs inside the jaws of this icy place are like torture tools of a medieval executioner. The moment you touch these, a wound will bloom on your finger, and the resulting cut will get infected from the rust and the dried fat and will rot away alive. There's also something scarlet on those pincers. I need to go back and check. Paint. It's just paint. There has to be something else I can click on. The surrounding dim light couldn't reach there. Anything could be hidden in the dark. What if someone is watching me from there, hiding behind silverly webs? Let me stand on my tiptoes. No, nothing but dust and old junk. So it's just a normal garage? It can't be. We already clicked that. We clicked that. The only other thing we haven't done is talk to him.
Ржавый хлам.
Ugh, nothing but old rusty junk.
Оказывается, это
This place
место
turned out to be
капец.
boring as fuck.
Какому такому мудаку пришла в голову идея перевозить гараж с места на место?
What kind of moron had the bright idea to move this garage from place to place all the
Пошли
time?
отсюда.
We're leaving.
Ага.
Okay,
Давай догоним Бяшу. Ему крепко досталось.
let's catch up with Byasha. He got it really bad. I went out into the snowfall. Romka was also stomping toward the exit when he suddenly stopped and stared at the car.
Слушай, а что это мы с пустыми руками будем возвращаться?
Hey, why leave this place empty-handed?
Дай-ка ехать.
Let me at least snatch the tape down.
Обожди минуту, я мигом.
I'll be back in a jiffy. Somebody sniffled from under the cover. I almost plopped into a snow pile from surprise.
Ты слышал? Она там.
Did you hear that? It's her! I watched my friend tugging at the clock, but I couldn't muster the strength to rush to his aid. My legs froze into the round. Still, Romka managed even without me. The cover he slashed with his knife flew to the side. There was no car underneath it. Instead, as if growing out of the floor, there stood a huge meat grinder, sparking with its well-oiled parts. I saw one just like this in Under 16 and Beyond. An industrial giant that factories use to grind cow carcasses when making sausage. Oh, her poor knees. Inside its bowl, which reminded me of the bloodthirsty maws of a Venus flytrap, sat a tied-up Katya. She looked like she just snapped out of a daydream, and her eyes rounded in horror. The gag in Katya's mouth prevented her from doing anything but moaning and sniffling.
Скорее сюда!
Get over here! I threw off my stupor like a heavy tarp and rushed inside the garage. In the meantime, Romka almost managed to climb the steel death machine, grabbed Katya under her shoulders, and he must have pressed some sort of button with his knee. The mechanism started rumbling like an empty stomach. Romka realized what he had done, so he screamed.
Выключи ее!
Fuck, turn it off, turn it off!
Я сейчас, держись!
Okay, hang in there. It's no use. Not a single damn button or switch helped in stopping these horrible screeching wheels.
Не работает! Ни хрена не помогает!
It's not working, I can't do shit!
Помоги мне!
Get your ass over here then! We bent toward Katya and tried to pull her out by the elbow. The spirals on the bottom got to work. They slowly winded up, gathering more and more speed with every turn. Then came the crunching sound, like that of a flame eating away at firewood. Rescue. Rescue, 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 rescue! Oh my god. Katya wailed through the gag, but the grinder didn't let go. It started to feast. I screamed when I saw Katya's crossblades getting wrapped around the grinder blade. They looked like a pair of tattered stockings now. Her bones pierced the skin and poked out like pointy twigs. A white kneecap floated around in the crimson syrup. I was trying to pull Katya out, but I could tell I was losing. Crushed her pelvis. The bloody gravy bubbled up. Katya kept wailing, holding the same maddening note. Her eyes bloodshot from all the burst blood vessels popped out of their sockets. The blades reached her stomach. They scooped up the glacial cubes of intestine to tease. Just like all your wrapped spaghetti around her fork. The cinnamon trail spread through the garage. I stopped trying to help Katya. She was clearly too far gone already. The girl's head dangled helplessly. Her murky eyes stared into space. The meat grinder chewed through Katya's ribcage and devoured her barely formed breasts. Her face darkened due to rising blood pressure. Scarlet streams ran from her eyes and ears. Katya was dead, but the machine had no intention of stopping. Hair got tangled in the blades, and a scalp got separated from Katya's skull with a loud smacking sound. The skin on her face slid down. The death grimace made me stagger away. I felt a pair of hands on my body and thought that I was also about to get thrown into a bowl as dessert. I was about to become a part of that same mincemeat mass as Katya, but it was Romka dragging me away. From the mechanism's metal trunk, a thick blood-filled sausage with hair and bones mixed and plopped into the
Мы
tray.
сделали все, что могли.
We did all we could.
Надо убираться отсюда.
Strawberry, you did your best to save Katya. We need to get out of here. I unzipped my backpack with ice-cold fingers. Are you insane? I lifted the Polaroid and wiped the tears off my face with my sleeve. We need proof. The blades almost finished chewing up the bones. A torn-out braid dangled from one of the steel teeth. I took aim, got the hairband with the plastic strawberry in the frame. Hairband with the plastic strawberry. Right here. Click. Top secret. We got the photo of Katya's braid. I think that's all we need for evidence. The braid fell inside the grinder. The giant machine stopped after letting out one last gurgle. We stumbled out of the garage. I grabbed a handful of snow and shoved it into my mouth, then chewed on the mushy substance. Roma was on his knees wiping his face with snow. I crawled away from the monstrous meat grinder, clinging to the ice with my nails. I coughed as if trying to expectorate the memory of what I saw. But I knew that I'd never forget the smell, the sound of breaking bones, and Katya's agony. Roma crawled up to me on all fours, and for a moment, I felt like he lost his sanity from horror. And now he was going to tear into my throat like a wild beast. Instead, he grabbed my coat and started scrubbing scarlet drops from my sleeve with
Что
snow.
ты делаешь?
What are you doing?
Никто не должен узнать.
We can't let anybody know.
О чем ты?
What do you mean?
Никакой милиции, слышишь?
No going to the police. Got it?
Катю по частям мы не соберем.
We're clearly not gluing Katya back together.
А я не хочу сесть в тюрьму.
And I don't
как
want to
мой
end up
батя.
in jail like my old man.
Ты говорил...
But you said...
Говорил.
Right, I did. He threw a hateful glare at the garage.
Я включил мясорубку.
I turned on the meat grinder.
Нечаянно.
By accident.
Попробуй докажи.
Try and prove that.
Им только и надо, чтобы на кого-то повесить убийство.
They just need a scapegoat for all these killings.
Я за решетку пойду.
I'll be
а
behind
маньяк
bars,
будет
and the
разгуливать
serial
на
killer will
свободе.
walk free.
Блядь!
Fuck.
Жизнь ведь
And my
только
life was
начала
just starting to get
налаживаться.
better.
Но мы не можем просто так.
But we can't.
Можем. Поклянись, что
We
никому не
can.
скажешь.
Swear you won't tell anybody. He didn't say that or else part out loud, but his tone of voice clearly had that implication. I stayed silent for a minute. I spent it thinking about the bloody gravy that was flowing out of the machine. Roma was right. Even if Tikhanov believes us, the garage might be gone by that time. It will just magically teleport to some other clearing on the other side of this damn forest.
Пожалуйста!
Please.
Кто-то должен защищать Полину.
Someone has to protect Polina. Olya too, I thought, while nodding
Хорошо.
slowly. Okay. I was afraid I wouldn't be able to keep my word. That mom will read it off my face, that she will notice the blood drops since the smell. And I'll crack. I'll just fall on the floor before her and start wailing, scared for myself and my family. At that moment, I had no idea what was actually waiting for me in the place I was mistakenly called home. The front door was open and swayed slightly in the wind. It felt like my skin was getting covered in rime. I clenched my fists. Sharp edges of the photo depicting Katya's remains dug into my palm. Darkness oozed into the hallway and snowflakes floated inside along with it, landing softly on the rug. Like a pack of vultures that sense their food, I imagined 3 meat grinders in different parts of the house and 3 members of my family getting ground by their blades. I stepped into the doorway with the utmost caution. For a moment, I thought I heard someone talking in the kitchen, but it turned out to be a radio broadcast.
Циклон, о котором мы предупреждали, движется к региону. Завтра синоптики обещают ветер с порывами до 15 метров.
The previous mentioned cyclone is getting even close to the region. The official forecast for tomorrow suggests gusts of winds reaching up to 70 kilometers per hour.
МЧС призвала жителей соблюдать меры предосторожности. Дороги перекрыты. Холодная воздушная масса арктического происхождения несет с собой буран.
Emercom of Russia has called all citizens to exercise extreme caution. The roads are closed off. The cold air streams coming from the Arctic are bringing massive blizzards. I heard voices coming from the upper floor, too. For the first time in my life, sounds of a quarrel calmed me down. The staircase let out a long squeak. I took 1 step, yet my heart managed to beat 6 or 7 times in the meantime. The door to my parents' bedroom was ajar. A shadow play unfolded inside a light spot. Black silhouettes performing a dance of hatred. Mom hissed at Dad, her wrists flying toward the ceiling, and he towered over her, his hands crossed on his huge chest.
Мы все в опасности. И все из-за тебя.
I really want to know what the dad did. I really want to know about their backstory, and I'm hoping that all of the choices we made will actually be able to know the real reason that they moved here. We're all in danger, and it's your fault.
И не ври, ты видела его в поселке.
Stop lying. You saw him in the village.
Он вычислил, где мы
We
живем.
found out where we live.
Был не он.
It wasn't him.
Я читала в газетах, на что способны твои дружки.
I've heard about the things your buddies are capable of in the newspapers. I stuffed the photo inside my pocket and walked toward my bedroom. My parents were in the middle of another quarrel where they showered each other with mutual accusations.
Polina.
Dad let out a low, beast-like roar.
Пусть они прекратят!
Make them stop! Olya stood in the corridor, pressing her little palms against her ears. I chased her with the illusion while my sister was getting devoured by the blades of a meat grinder. Her face, swollen from crying, made my skin freeze. And I almost managed to put Katya's bloody image out of my mind.
Что случилось?
What happened?
Они разведутся!
They're gonna get a divorce! I hugged my sister and held her tight. My tongue refused to listen to my commands, to look for excuses.
Я сволочь. Это ты, сука.
It felt like the screams were coming from every direction, right and left, up and down, splitting my head apart. Swear words rained down on us, so we covered our heads with our hands. Like refugees running from a bombing.
Я хочу уйти!
I want to escape!
В свою комнату.
To your room?
Нет! Дальше!
No, far away!
Отведи меня в
Lead me to
Neverland!
Neverland, you promised!
Да!
I carefully unplugged Olya's hands from her ears and led her away from the room with her parents, which was vibrating with malice.
Из-за тебя!
Your fault!
Ради кого?
For whom? Your own and only your own. I would never! In moments like these, I despised them more than they despised each other. I bolted down the door to my room and leaned against it. My knees gave way.
Почему тебя не было так долго?
Why were you gone out for so long?
Я пытался помочь одной девочке.
I tried to help a girl. Did you help her?
Не думаю.
I don't think so. 4 pieces of evidences. So we got the signet ring, the number, the mitten, and the photo. Maybe that's all we need to call Tikhonov. I stood in front of the table, carefully opened one of its drawers, and threw the photo of Katya's bloody braid inside. Olya tried to take a look behind my back, but I slammed the drawer shut. And at the same time, something hit the window's ledge on the outside. Olya shuddered and shifted her gaze toward it. Bam! Another snowball smacked into the window's frame.
Ты ждешь кого-то?
Were you expecting someone? I didn't reply. Instead, I let go of her wrist. Olya wept in fear. I crossed the room, wincing from every shout coming from my parents. I could hear plates getting smashed now. They must have moved their argument to the kitchen. Sounded more like footsteps. I flung the curtains and the window open. Hootie, Teddy, Wolfie, and most importantly, the charming Alyssa stood outside waving at us. Olya gasped in surprise when she saw the owl girl.
Я же говорила!
See, I told
Да,
you!
знаю, я тебе всегда верил.
Yeah, I know. I always believed you.
Кто они?
Who are they? Her fearful voice also had some curiosity mixed in.
Чтобы в такую погоду дома сидеть, надо быть очень скучными детьми.
Only the most boring children sit at home in weather like this. We still have so many games to play.
Давайте только не во все игры играть, а то у меня лапка болит.
But let's not play all of them. My paw hurts.
Чуть-чуть. И потом отдохнем.
We play a little and then rest. Friends!
Выходите скорее, играть и танцевать.
Come on, come out to play and dance. My heart started beating faster as soon as I saw Alyssa, and my inner voice practically screamed, "She's here! She's finally here!"
Они знают, как попасть в Небыляндию?
Do they know the way to Neverland? I entertained that possibility, looking at the animal kids.
Может быть, пойдем и узнаем.
Maybe. Let's go find out. The silhouettes of my forest friends promised to free us from sadness, anger, and nightly horrors. I made sure that Olya wore warm clothes. Mom barked at Dad like a wild beast from the show with Nikolai Drozden. We sneaked past the rumbling kitchen and into the snowfall outside. Alyssa ran up to me and hugged me tight, poking her cold nose into my neck.
Как же долго!
You took so long.
Пока мы вас домоседов ждали, то чуть
We
не
almost got old
состарились.
waiting for you, shut-ins. She pressed her body into me even harder.
Оказывается, ждать так утомительно.
Turns out, waiting is so tiring.
Ох,
You give me a minute to catch my
минуточку в
breath.
себя прийти.
Однажды я тоже долго собиралась. А когда закончила, то и вовсе забыла, куда.
I was preparing to leave for a long time, ooh. And when I was done, I forgot where I was supposed to go. Olya looked at the owl with suspicion. But she giggled when the bird did a backflip and landed perfectly on her feet without staggering. All the other animals, as if on cue, stopped fooling around and stared at Olya in amazement.
Это же та девочка, что не хотела со мной дружить.
That's the girl who didn't want to be friends.
Меня зовут Оля.
My name is Olya.
Раньше я просто тебя боялась.
I was afraid of you before.
Тебя испугала наша совушка?
Were you afraid of our Hootie?
Может быть, у нее совофобия?
Maybe she has owlphobia.
А это лечится?
Can you cure that?
Главное, чтобы ребенок не боялся веселиться.
It doesn't matter as long as she's not afraid of having fun.
Иначе с нами можно умереть от страха.
Or she might get scared to death with us. I was stunned at the realization that my lips were slowly forming a smile. And that's after everything I saw in the garage. Every time I met Alyssa, it felt like I crossed a river, and the sound of flowing water suppressed all of my negative thoughts.
Какие у вас красивые костюмы!
Your costumes are so pretty. The fox girl let go of me and squatted beside Olya.
О, какая очаровашка!
My, what a cutie.
Антоша,
Why did you hide such a cute creature from us before? I glanced at the house, worried that our parents might have seen us, and were about to ruin our fun like they always do. Then hugged my sister and replied,
Давайте отойдем подальше.
Let's go further away from here.
Запросто!
Sure thing.
Оля, а ты знаешь, как найти в нашем лесу Деда Мороза?
I am still so lost in what I think. Like, a part of me thinks that the animal children are evil. But another part of me is wondering, like, are they souls of children that the tractor guy has already killed? But I don't know. I don't know. Like, I'm still hoping the pieces are gonna keep coming together, but every time I feel like I know what's happening, something else happens and then I'm confused again. So I don't know. Hey, Olya, do you know how to find Grandpa Frost in our forest? My little sister's eyes widened.
Как?
How?
Нужно идти по сладкой тропинке.
You need to follow the sweet trail. Alyssa bent down and took a candy out of the snow. Olya raised her hands in amazement. She gave me an inquiring look and I nodded. My sister munched on the candy.
У нас что, в лесу завелся Дед Мороз?
Wait, do we have Grandpa Frost in our forest?
Почему? Ты мне не рассказывала.
Why, didn't you tell me?
Я рассказывала. Сегодня днем.
I did, this afternoon.
Но ведь днем я сплю.
But I sleep during the day.
Ага. Вот я и рассказывала, пока ты спала.
Right, I told you while you were sleeping. Oh, she's so creepy. Alyssa dashed away, wiggling her red tail like a tortoise flame. Olya went after her without thinking and laughed after taking another candy out of a snow pile.
Вы такие бодрые, на вас аж смотреть противно.
You're so lively, it makes me sick to my stomach.
А ты давай не зевай.
And you stop being so passive.
Лучше беги с нами к Деду Морозу, пока все подарки не разобрали.
Run with us to Grandpa Frost while there are still presents left.
Скажешь тоже.
No way.
Скорее уж мне на голову свалится 3 кило конфет, чем я поверю в байки лисицы.
I won't believe the fox's tale unless 10 pounds of sweets drop on my head right now. When the aforementioned sweets started raining down on the bear's head, I couldn't stop myself from laughing at him, ouching and bobbing his head up and down. Tasty treats glistened in the snow. Teddy sneezed and pulled a little bear in the north candy out of his ear.
Я бы вздремнул часок.
I'd take an hour-long nap and then count all these chocolates.
У меня такое
I suspect there are
подозрение,
no
что
more
тут
than
не
3
больше
pounds here.
килограмм.
Alyssa shouted at us from the other side of the forest.
Не в этой жизни!
Maybe in another life.
Давайте скорее! Дед Мороз уже заждался нас во дворце.
Hurry up! Grandpa Frost is already tired of waiting for you in his castle. I shrugged and ran. Running loosened the grip of fear I felt all this time. Something round whizzed past my temple. I decided it was a snowball, but then Olya proclaimed,
Зефир!
Не подбирай, он испачкался.
Zephyr, what's that? Don't pick it up, it's dirty.
Ты что, веришь в микробов?
Huh? Do you believe in microbes?
А ты нет?
And you don't?
Раньше верил.
I used to. Graceful rows of colossal pines greeted us with their rustling paws. Snow drifted upward into the endless black sky just like the last time. Snow piles lighted up like melted silver.
Как же красиво! А я думала, в лесу страшно.
So pretty. And I thought the forest was scary.
Нас родители пугали лесом, снегом и совой.
Parents told us scary stories of the forest, owl, and snow.
Ну а мы с собой играли в снежной чаще под луной.
But we weren't worried one bit, playing with her when moon glows. I did my best to keep track of Olya's movement, but it was a difficult task. My sister would jump inside bushes, picking up more candy, only to then get back to the trail laughing. Hootie flew over our heads, landed on a branch, and started hooting and shaking her head. Wolfie dug into the snow with his face, dragged out a pile of bubblegum, and swallowed it without taking off the wrapping.
У тебя будет несварение.
Your tummy will hurt. Wolf got scared and spat out the gumball.
Враки, злые собаки.
Lies, lies, nasty flies.
Нет никаких несварений.
Tummy aches don't exist.
Вся эта чушь.
All that nonsense only happens to grown-ups. Alyssa stopped in her tracks and moved a canopy of intertwined branches to the side in a pompous manner, like you would open the curtains in a theater. Behind the obstacles lay a clearing. There stood an ice castle, glistening with silver.
О, это все взаправду?
Is this real?
Защипнуть тебя.
Should I pinch you?
Не надо ее щипать.
There's no need to pinch her. We stared at the sparkling miracle. Its towers and walls were made out of snow and icy marble. Oh. Was that a bell? I heard a calming sound of ringing little bells. There was also the smell of chocolate and burnt sugar in the air. The castle does look really, really pretty.
Милости прошу к нашему шалашу.
Welcome to our humble abode. Come on in. She didn't have to invite us twice. We entered the castle, spinning around and squinting from the blinding sparkles. Grandpa Frost sat atop a shiny throne. Puffy Pom-Pom swung atop the two peaks of his hat. A snow-white beard covered his kind smile. He looked just like I imagined him back in the day when I believed in Mom's fairy tales, tall, strong, and hairy, radiating frost and warmth at the same time. And his voice, low and syrupy, enveloped me like the smoke of a festive bonfire.
Антон и Ольга. Ох, и намучились же вы, ребятки, пока сюда добирались.
You probably got tired while getting here, my dear children.
Что ты, дедушка? Мы быстро дошли.
Oh no, Grandpa, we got here really fast. My sister spoke with the castle's master like she never spoke with adults, in a lively, carefree manner, as if they were the same age.
Знаю, все знаю.
Of course, I know all about it.
Мне мои друзья докладывают.
I have a lot of friends. They tell me everything.
Кто был покладистым весь год, того подарок утром ждет.
If you're diligent all year, I will bring you gifts, my dear.
А кто ленился и грустил, пускай он дедушку
If you're lazy and
простит.
upset, please forgive this kind old man.
Лентяем и грустяем конфет не запасаем.
Candy won't encounter lazy bones and downers.
А я не ленилась.
I'm not lazy.
И о том знаю.
This too I know. He gave us a long, evaluating look. His real face was hidden under the Grandpa Frost mask. I was just standing there unblinking, my gaze glued to the old man. I could accept children living in the forest and fantastical jumps toward the moon, but seeing Grandpa Frost in his frozen castle left me completely speechless.
Есть у меня для вас кое-что особенное.
I have something special for you two. A sack appeared in his giant hand. My nostrils got attacked by the aroma of cocoa, halva, and tangerines.
Спасибо, но мы уже ели конфеты.
Thank you, but we've already eaten some candy. Grandpa Frost pierced me with his eyes.
Разве то конфеты были? Так, одно название.
Oh, you call that candy? That was nothing.
Вот у меня конфеты волшебные, прямиком из Небыляндии привезенные.
My candy is special, straight from Neverland.
Из Небыляндии?
From Neverland?
Сразу бы вам их дал. Заслужили.
I'd give them to you right away. You clearly deserve them.
Но есть правила.
But rules are rules.
Надобно вам 3 дедушкины загадки отгадать. Попробуйте.
You need to solve 3 of Grandpa's riddles. Want to try? I tried splitting my parched lips apart, but Olya was the first to reply.
Да!
Тогда слушайте первую.
Here comes the first one.
В нем живут машины и хранятся шины.
It's a home for cars and all sorts of tires. I looked around at the math children. They stood without moving in the corners, but their shadows danced on the walls. Like they're afraid of him. I heard a low hum, and in my confusion, I thought it was the sound of their rumbling stomachs.
Гараж!
Верно.
See, I don't know, it's suspicious, because obviously his first hint is a garage, and we know that the garage is where the children go missing. And the animal children are afraid. I don't know.
Теперь вторая загадка. Подключайся, Антон.
Now, on to the second one. You try to solve it too, Anton.
Весь день ходит, как тень, посудой гремит, на всех шипит.
All day long, to the shadows they belong. They rattle the plates and hiss at their mates. My eyebrows shot up in confusion.
Мама?
Olya raised her hand.
Можно я?
Can I?
Это кошка!
It's a kitty!
Верно! Хо-хо! Осталась последняя загадка и подарки ваши.
Correct! Oh, here's the last one. Solve it and the gifts are yours. Oh, but what a stroke of bad luck, my dear children.
Запамятовал я, о чем же была эта загадка.
I completely forgot what the riddle was about.
А может, наши друзья-зверята нам подскажут?
Maybe our little animal friends can help us. Children in costume surrounded us, laughing and stomping, only to start spinning in a crazed roundelay that somewhat reminded me of that dance under my window on that fateful night. Grandpa Frost sits on his throne. At the kids, he's smiling back. Please don't make them wait too long. Come and open your old sack. Grandpa Frost burst out laughing, satisfied.
Убедили старика. Получайте.
Okay, you proved yourself to this old man. Here you go. He scattered a mountain of sweets from his scarlet sack, some of which I had never even seen in commercials before. Bubblegum of all shapes and colors with tasty aromas and inserts sticking out. Lollipops the size of a fist and tangerines the size of Olya's head. And also Snickers, Mars, Bounty Bars, and Kinder Surprise eggs that we haven't eaten for so long already.
Ой, спасибо!
Wow, thank you! I wiped away the tears of joy with my sleeve when my inner voice persuaded me to get rid of all doubts. This is exactly what I wanted from my sister and myself. The true Neverland without bullying and taboos. We're finally going to be happy. Grandpa Frost straightened up as he left his throne and threw his hands in the air over the tree. Animals that stood to his sides also raised their paw. Their eyes sparkled brighter than precious gems. The wolf's maw was wet with saliva.
Да будет пир на весь мир!
Feast, my children. Animal kids rushed to devour candy one by one, pushing each other and growling. Their faces were smeared with something dark. Olya grabbed the closest candy and tore off the wrapper. Uh-oh, I don't know what that says. Is that bad? I can still refuse? I don't know what to do. I feel like since we're doing Alyssa's storyline, I feel like we need to accept, right? Because we don't suspect anything is off with them. So I feel like we should accept. I fished out the most tasty-looking candy from the pile of sweets on the floor. Then took a bite. Milk chocolate melted in my mouth.
С выбором вас поздравляю. Веселитесь в этот час.
I applaud your bold decision. Now it's time for you to play.
Я желание исполняю, сокровенный для вас.
I will grant your deepest wishes. Let me lighten up your day.
Антон, смотри!
Anton, look! My sister's face was smeared in chocolate, and I was about to reprimand her. But words got stuck in my throat. It's a Christmas tree! A giant spruce shot toward the stars and disappeared somewhere in outer space, crowned by a giant moon. Giant balls shine on its branches, garlands of lights gleamed with all the colors of the rainbow. The roof disappeared, and myriads of constellations sprawled on the night sky above us. Her laugh is so creepy right now, very witchy. Music, laughter, the smell of evergreen and sweets. And Teddy, Wolfie, and Hootie dancing beside us. And the snowflakes floating backward. I burst out laughing, touched the bushy golden tinsel. It was all real.
Что? Это она?
Is that?
Вы тут не про Небылиндию случайно говорите?
Are you talking about Neverland by any chance?
Это и есть Небылиндия!
Is this Neverland? Alyssa performed a theatric bow. Christmas balls gleamed and shimmered, and my soul shimmered in unison with them. I was becoming the magic winter forest, the soft evergreen, all of the constellations at the same time.
Добро пожаловать домой.
Welcome home. This is where my home always was. The snow sparkled, almost blinding me. Olya started spinning in a dance. She grabbed a candy with each of her hands. Wolfie juggled Kendra's surprise eggs.
Ты видел?
Did you see that? Consoles, handheld games, dolls, and transformer figures lay under the spruce as if they were brought here by trucks.
Это все наше!
Is this for us? I realized I was also dancing, so I replied while moving.
Многовато для нас одних. Я бы поделился с кем-нибудь. А
It's
ты?
a bit too much for the two of us. I'd share it with somebody. And what do you think?
Ну, если с кем-то хорошим.
Only if it's somebody nice. A group of children stood at the edge of the woods, their enchanted gazes directed at our celebration. Hey! I jumped across the whole clearing and glided to the ground near them.
Хотите с нами?
Want to come to us?
Можно?
See, so other children were there. Other children were there. Like, I almost feel like these are what the children used to be until they died. And then I feel like their souls went into the wolf children, but they don't remember what happened. But I don't know if that's 100% certain, but that's what where my brain is going. Can we?
Спрашивайте.
Of course. The kids took each other by the hand. I led the procession toward the gifts. There was no better feeling than leading someone on the road to their dreams. The holiday party was finally in full swing. And every holiday, just like in a beautiful apple, always sat a nasty little worm called transience. Yet here, under the bristly paws of a magnificent spruce, holidays never ended.
Счастлив, Тоша?
Are you happy, Tosha?
Я счастлив.
I am. Up in the sky, majestic fireworks went off, illuminating the dancing figures. My eyes wetted, my muscles sprang up. I tilted my head backward to look at the moon and screamed at the top of my lungs from overflowing emotion. Are you happy, Bunny? I jumped toward the stars and did a flip. All of Neverland could hear my screams.
Счастлив!
I am happy. For the first time in the long days I'd spent in the house, I woke up with a smile on my face. This time, happiness had a tight grip on me. I stretched, enjoying the sweet sensation with every cell of my body. Outside, I could hear the joyful chirping of beautiful red-chested bullfinches, who celebrated the bright January sun. Their chirping granted me hope that the naked forest outside my window would someday turn into a lush paradise for my parents and my little sister. The corridor was filled with dog barks and the patter of tiny feet. The door to my bedroom flew open, greeting me with the warm breeze and the aroma of freshly made coffee. Olya stood in the doorway, shining with happiness, holding the cute Zolka, who wiggled both her body and her tail.
Тоша, гляди, гляди! Папа разрешил ей остаться!
Look, Tosha, look! Papa said she can stay. Tears of joy formed in my little sister's eyes.
У меня теперь есть собака!
I have my own dog now. I couldn't help but jump up from bed upon hearing this wonderful news.
Да ведь это же Жулька.
That's Zolka.
Сам ты жулька! Ее зовут Принцесса.
Zolka? No, her name is Princess.
Да, Ваше Высочество?
Right, Your Highness? The dog barked in agreement.
Тук-тук. Можно к вам?
Knock, knock. Can I come in? To my complete surprise, Dad stepped through the doorway, smiling and hugging Mom, which was outright bizarre.
Как тебе пополнение?
What do you think of our new family member?
Мне эта дуреха под колеса
Idiot threw
бросилась.
herself under my car. I barely avoided her.
Машину поцарапал, думал, голыми руками удавлю.
I got my car scratched. Thought I'd choke her with my own two hands.
А заглянул ей в глаза. Они такие, как бы сказать...
Then I looked her in the eye, and there I saw, how should I put it? Intelligence.
Во! А сама дрожит вся.
Yeah, and the poor thing was shaking all over.
Ну, говорю, ладно, доедешь со мной до дома и сиденье не обгадишь, тогда оставайся.
And then I said, all right, if you manage to make it home without soiling my seats, I'll let you stay.
Принцессы не гадят.
Princesses can't soil anything. We laughed in unison, just like in the good old days when every little thing could easily make us burst out laughing.
Чего замолчал? Давай, продолжай.
Well, why did you stop? Continue with your stories. Mom gave Dad a cunning look and he turned away, red as a beet. They were acting like total kids.
А еще из хороших новостей. Ваш папа получил повышение.
There's more good news. Your dad got a promotion.
Грешно, конечно, радоваться, ведь старший бухгалтер пропал все-таки.
I shouldn't exactly be happy about it since the chief accountant went missing and all.
Но, как говорится, нет.
But you know, for us, it's a silver lining.
Это значит, тебя чаще не будет дома?
Does that mean you'll be away from home more?
Это значит двойную надбавку плюс премии.
That means double the bonuses.
Правильно, Карина.
That's right, Karina.
Так что готовьтесь. На следующей неделе нас всех ждет семейное путешествие.
Which means you should all prepare for a family trip next week. My heart started beating faster after those
Куда?
words. Where? Olya even loosened her grip on the stray.
Неужели в Макдональдс?
Oh, are we going to McDonald's?
Скажешь тоже, Оль.
Come on, Olya.
Бери выше. Мы давно уже планировали эту поездку, да все не получалось.
Aim higher. We've been planning this trip for a long time, but something always messed it up.
Вы уж простите нас, ребятки.
We're sorry about that, kids. Mom wiped away a tear with her fist.
Да ладно тебе, Карин. Все в прошлом.
It's okay, Karina. Now it's all in the past.
В общем, собирайте чемоданы, летим в Диснейленд!
Anyway, gather your things. We're flying to Disneyland. My sister and I jumped up to the ceiling with joy. The dog also got excited from that passionate speech and joined us.
Ура! Диснейленд! Диснейленд!
Our jubilant screams filled the house, rushed through the attic and the drain pipes, flew across the front yard, and sneaked into the shining white forest, taking the scary D word away with it. I swore that I'll remember this day forever, the day when my parents finally dropped their derisive masks, and underneath them were the faces of parents we always knew and loved. Lilia Pavlovna still hadn't returned to school after Katya went missing, so today I was able to get a good night's sleep and went to school when it was already bright outside. The trail led to a snow-white plain with blackened houses in the background. They pumped out gray smoke that carried the smell of birch and pine logs. The freezing cold of the night had finally let up. It fell into slumber under the early sunlight. Ice sparkles appeared on the white caps atop the houses. I stopped confident that nobody could spoil my good mood today. No sadness, no self-pity because of Polina, who is probably already sharing all of her grand plans about conquering Vienna with Romka. All of that was gone forever. A cow let out a long moo somewhere in the distance. I fell out of my fleeting daydream and walked forward, crunching with the snow blanket under my soles. Fluffy clouds floated above my head. I recognized the friendly shapes of animal kids. Suddenly, a snowball landed on the back of my head. Girlish laughter that reminded me of a small ringing bell in the spring breeze tickled my ears. I turned around expecting to see her, my lovely guide into the dream world, my dear Alyssa. Yet instead of a fox girl, Polina stood on the trodden path behind me, with her faithful violin case in her hand.
Опять Петров ворон считаешь?
Got your head in the clouds again, huh, Petrov? She lunged at me with contagious laughter, locking her arms around my neck. I just stood there in awe, drowning in the sweet aroma of her perfume.
Что с тобой?
Did something happen? She flashed me an embarrassed smile. I saw her cornflower-colored eyes gleam.
Дедушка мой, он
My grandpa,
Он снова может ходить, представляешь?
He can walk again, can you believe it?
В это даже сельский врач не верил, а он будто назло ему встал и пошел.
The local doctor had no faith in him, but it's like he stood up and started walking, just to spite him.
О, это самый счастливый день в моей жизни, Антон!
This is the happiest day of my life, Anton. She dug her face deep into my chest, tightened her grip on my neck, as if I was more than just a friend to her. I stared, looking around anxious.
Полина, нас могут увидеть.
Polina, somebody could see us.
Из-за Пятифанова беспокоишься?
Are you worried about Romka?
Брось ты это дело. Его и след простыл.
Then you're worried for nothing. He has not been seen for a while. Did he run away? I cautiously parted with Polina, trying to understand whether it was some sort of prank or the truth.
Ну ты чего, не веришь, что ли?
Wait, you don't believe me?
К нам вчера, буквально ночью, старший лейтенант Тихонов приезжал.
That officer, Lieutenant Tikhonov, came to our house just last night.
Так и так, Бяша потерялся, а вместе с ним и дружок его Ромка.
He said that Byasha, along with his buddy Romka, went missing. A group of skiers glided past us straight into the forest. Polina leaned into my ear, sharing her whisper with me, her eyes still locked on the skiers.
Как я поняла, во всех этих исчезновениях Тихонов подозревает Пятифанова.
As far as I know, Tikhanov suspects that all the previous cases were Romka's fault.
Да ладно.
No way.
Я сама в шоке.
I was shocked myself.
По слухам, у Ромки того. Совсем шарики за ролики заехали.
There are rumors that Romka, well, went off the deep end.
Да я, в принципе, и не удивлена.
I mean, I'm not exactly surprised to hear that.
Что ты имеешь в виду?
What do you mean?
А ты не знал? Он из проблемной семьи.
Haven't you heard? He's from a very troubled family.
Даже думать не хочу, что творилось у них дома.
I don't want to even imagine what had been going on in their home. Romka always seems excessively aggressive to me, always angry at everyone without a good reason. Now the darkness that he harbored within overflowed into the outside world and led multiple small innocent souls to their demise, as well as his own. It was hard to believe, but for the first time I laid my eyes on Romka, I thought that things would end this way.
Вот, а ты еще мне его сватал.
Yeah, and you wanted me to date him.
Как вспомню.
I shudder every time I remember that.
Прости, пожалуйста.
I'm so sorry. She waved her hand and smiled. Okay, why are we not defending him? We saw what he saw. What is happening? We all of a sudden believe it?
Кто старое помянет?
All in the past now.
Вот бы еще и бездомные дворняги тоже исчезли.
I only wish all of the stray dogs could disappear too.
Не жизнь была бы, а песня.
Now that would be a wonderful world. I looked at Polina with suspicion.
Да шучу я!
I'm just joking. We know she's not
Пойдем
joking.
скорее, а то опоздаем.
Let's move, we're gonna be late. Polina grabbed my hand and started running along the village road, accompanied by joyful laughter. With every step, every laugh, every joke, the warmth I thought I'd forgotten enveloped my heart more and more. The all-consuming feeling of falling in love came back to me, this time for good, it seemed. I tried letting go of Polina's hand near the classroom entrance, embarrassed that our classmates might taunt us. But it was as if Polina didn't care at all. She only gripped my palm even harder while opening the door. And she was right. Now that the cunning Katya, the heartless Romka, and the snaring Byasha were gone, our class looked as if it was sanitized from parasites. It became friendlier and kinder. I didn't get looks overflowing with hatred anymore. There was nobody to spit a ball of chewed paper at me through an empty shell of a ball pen. I sat at my lonely desk when Polina joined me. I wasn't surprised at all. She was so charming that I could call her my muse. A wave of inspiration hit me and I couldn't help but pull my sketchbook out of my bag. I licked the pencil lid, my eyes glued to my model. She smiled at me again.
Что ты задумал?
What's on your mind?
Спокойствие. Работает профессионал.
No worries, a professional at work here. I drafted the shapes of her mesmerizing figure.
Знаешь, я часто наблюдал за тобой отсюда.
You know, I've watched you here often. She glanced at her former desk and fixed a strand of hair behind her ear in embarrassment.
Правда?
Really? I outlined her cute cheeks with multiple wide lines. It was the first time I was able to grasp somebody's proportions as precisely.
Полина.
Что, Антон?
Yes, Anton? She froze in place, afraid of disrupting my work with one wrong move and dispelling the magic of the moment.
Наклонись, пожалуйста, сюда.
Lean here a bit more, please.
Вот так, да, хорошо.
Yes, like this. Good. Choking from anxiousness, Polina loosened the knot on her neckerchief.
Я всегда хотел тебя.
I always wanted to draw you. Our eyes met.
О, Антон.
My pencil slid across the paper furiously, adding the shading to her chest.
Скажи, ты согласна стать героиней моего комикса?
Say, would you like to become the main heroine in my comic? Pleasant shivers ran across her body. She rolled her eyes back in rapture.
Да! Да! Как долго я ждала этих слов, милый!
I've been waiting for you to ask, darling. The lead couldn't endure all of the tension and cracked, bursting into a million tiny pieces. I couldn't believe my eyes when I looked at the drawing. I was looking at a terrible doll, and the place where Polina's face was, just a second ago, now rested some sort of formless mess. It took me some time to realize that I was sitting alone in an empty classroom, with only the specks of dust flying in the moonlight as my company. It was dark outside. My classmates, Polina, the feeling of euphoria, all of them were gone. Somebody wrote down a nursery rhyme on the blackboard with a piece of chalk, but some of the words were wiped out and I could only read bits and pieces. 1, 2. Bunny. Meat. I was no longer smirking like an idiot. I stood up, pinched myself on the wrist. A ring in silence engulfed me. There was a taste of vomit in my mouth and my ears buzzed like from an endless scream full of despair and horror.
Эй, кто-нибудь!
Hey, is anybody there? Shadows swarmed in the corridor. I walked past boarded-up classrooms, past the rotten spots on the walls and silvery cobwebs. Spiders crawled under the ceiling. Lamps flickered anxiously. I stopped before the notice board, stunned. So the only ones, of course, we see Vova, Simon. I don't remember her name. Lilia Pavlovna's on here too? What? What the heck is that? Did they think that nobody would see that? That look, what, a raccoon? That is so funny. Hundreds of new photos were added to those of Simon and Katya. Black and white printouts were glued on top of each other. The horrific collage of childless faces stared at me with empty eye sockets. Unable to endure the torturing stares of those watchful gaping holes, I ran out of the school. I crossed the front yard and reached the road where the wind was whipping up powdery snow. No people, no cars, no birds. Low clouds got stuck on chimneys. Windows that looked like they were painted over with ink. Photos of missing people enveloped lampposts and fences like paper skin. Mostly kids, but some adults too. It felt like all the people who once lived in this village now became black and white ghosts in the photos with the person missing. I dragged my feet forward along the dead street. Some houses had their windows smashed. The wind made itself a home there, wandering the room. Every gust made the front door swing. Kids' coats hung from the fences, their sleeves moved, stretched out toward me. An empty village, an empty husk. What happened here? An overturned waste bin rumbled across the black alley. Something flashed inside the window frames of the charred village store. I ran away from its sooty facade, then heard a guttural roar coming from the well. I started walking faster, trying not to pay any mind to the darkness inside the front yards, inside the bloody doghouses, inside the crooked shacks. The moon appeared from under the clouds. Something flew over my head in this draining silence. As if a crop duster flew from one roof to another, a huge shadow loomed over me. I rushed to the right, hoping that I wasn't noticed. A small greenhouse in front of me was my shelter. I rushed towards the closest building, going insane from fear. I pushed the gate, crouched and scampered toward the porch. I tugged at the doorknob. The front door was open. A wheelchair rolled out of the darkness, almost hitting me, tumbled down the stairs, clanging with its wheels, and stopped near an apple tree. I followed it with round eyes, then turned my gaze inside the house again. The corridor was obscured by the dark. Empty frames on the wall, glass shards on the floor.
Есть тут кто?
Is there anybody there? I heard growling in reply. From around the corner at the end of the corridor, a furry paw appeared, and after it, a scary beast face with a pair of burning eyes. A huge overweight beast crawled out of its belly, breathing like a snake. It could barely fit inside the corridor's mouth. It squeezed forward, clawing at the floorboard. Its maws clanged like a bear trap inches away from my face. The beast got stuck. It banged its paws on the walls, spitting saliva in every direction. I turned around. I needed to get the hell out of this nightmare. A hunchback owl, bigger than an average human, landed near the front gate and stood in my way. Its beak kept on clicking. A snow pile bulged nearby, and something reminiscent of a giant shrew crawled to the outside. I fell to my knees, as if praying to these eldritch creatures. A figure draped in a dirty fox scalp crawled out of a dark hole, smiling with all its teeth. Its tail dragged after it, just a piece of vertebrae laced in its torn sinews. The creature's bodies became extremely distorted, and I decided I was going insane. They seemed small to me one moment, as small as a child, only to stretch higher than any of the desolate houses the next. Man-eating creatures towered over me. Something kept on wreathing in their stomachs, as if looking for a way out. The longer they stared at me, the wider their twisted smiles, their death masks became.
Как же славно мы пировали!
We had such a long feast. The mutilated fox taxidermy mount licked its lips. Ugh. Its tongue looked like a black centipede, longer than my forearm. The nasty insect ran between the razor-sharp teeth and dropped into the bottomless pit that could swallow the whole world. Hoot hoot, sweet meat, juicy meat. We devour it, and we won't stop. There was nothing human about their speech. It was all just animalistic growls and bird-like wheezes. But I was able to understand every word, as if we were speaking the same language.
Как жаль, что ты не поспел за нами, зайчик.
It's a shame you couldn't catch up with us, buddy.
Не смог укусить луну.
You couldn't fight the moon.
Вы обидали меня, предатели!
You stole my food, traitors!
Ты сам не захотел есть свою семью.
You refused to eat your family, remember? But... Oh. But... Hoot hoot, pathetic, these worthless. You are absolutely useless, brother. You make me sick. Okay, I know what this means now since I've played this before. So that means I was supposed to refuse the candy because they wanted us to eat my family. I know what I was supposed to do. I made the wrong decision, I think, to get Alyssa's story, to get her true end, or the true end. I'll have to backtrack. Indescribable horror gripped me when the laughing beasts held their clawed paws toward me. Then suddenly, the thing that pretended to be a fox started barking loud.
Глупцы! Его черед нести угощение.
Fools! It's his time to bring the treats. Good. For nothing.
Пусть исполнит предназначение.
Let him fulfill his mission.
К завтрашней ночи ждем места. А иначе...
We'll be waiting for some meat from you tomorrow night, or else.
Иначе...
Or else.
Иначе...
Or else.
Иначе...
Or else.
Иначе мы съедим всю твою семью!
Or else we'll eat your entire family! The monsters formed a circle around me and started dancing. I screamed. Huge eyes, fangs, claws flashed in front of me, blurring into a string of colorful spots and smudges. 1, 2, time to play with you. 3, 4, 5, the owl will arrive. Sun in, the wolf's great fur will stay. 7, 8, stomp your hooves and wait. A fox face protruded from the fuzzy lights that the beastly caresses turned into. For the fox and for the bear. Bunny, tasty fruits, tasty meals prepare. A desperate cry, my cry, rumbled across the back streets of the desolate village. I will prepare. The circle broke up and I ran for my life. It felt like I was running into a snare trap. My head was splitting. Ugly images danced, sliding, falling over, getting up and dancing again. 1, 2. They fluffed their wings, poked my face with their beaks and their salivating maws. 3, 4, 5. They howled and jumped around, and my eardrums were ready to pop, either from their screams or from the internal pressure that fractured my skull from within. 6. My winter hat obscured my vision, and it seemed like the whole sky tilted, like a roof that's about to collapse. 7, 8. Snow crumbled from the sky like plaster. I ran through the empty streets, through the icy world, chased by a pack of beasts, yet I couldn't see anybody when I turned around. I shut my eyes and hopped away from the ritual dance that went on inside my flared-up mind. I squeezed my ears shut. I squeezed my ears with my palms to suppress the noise. I just wanted to stop my head from cracking open. Then, sunrise found me deep inside the forest. Oh, that was it. We woke up in the forest. That was it? Okay, let me know if I'm still making the right choices here because I'm not sure. We do have all 4 pieces of evidence, so I feel like I'm still okay to move on to the last episode because I'll be able to call Tikhonov now because we have 4 pieces of evidence now instead of 3, so I do think that's looking good for us. But I do wonder if I was supposed to refuse the candy. That way, well, no, maybe not, because I feel like if we continue down the road that I've already done, I feel like I have to sacrifice the dog again, and I think I have to sacrifice my sister again because that's when I ate my family. So I'm thinking that maybe I'm still going down the correct road to be able to see what the true ending is for choosing Alyssa. I think I could very much be wrong, but I think I've made the correct decisions. I would still like to go back and see what happens if I decide not to let Byasha tag along. Like, I'm curious if, like, will that save his life? Because, well, all of this is an illusion if I remember right. I don't think any of this happened. I was confused at first, but I don't think Romka and Byasha are really missing. I don't think we really drew a picture of Polina. I feel like when I ate the candy, that it was all an illusion. They did something to us. So, like, Olya is probably still there because I do remember when we wake up, Olya's gonna be sick, just like she would still be sick if we refused the candy. So I definitely feel like the candy did something to us, like it drugged us maybe. And so everything that just happened after we like were with Grandpa Frost, I feel like all of that after was an illusion. I'm pretty sure. But I suppose we will find out in the next episode. I hope you guys are enjoying this series still. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope I see you for my next video.